if I told you there was an 80s show about rival companies fighting over tugboat contracts? What if I told you there was an episode about an Australian criminal threatening to kill his unlucky underling if he didn't help him smuggle stuff into port? What if I told you there was an episode which covers suicide? And what if I told you this show was made by the same people who made Thomas the Tank Engine? Wait, no. I see you there trying to clock off this video, but wait. Honestly, this show is so much more than what it looks like on the surface, and everything I said here actually happens in the show. Please, allow me to introduce you to a show you will likely never have heard or seen. This is Tugs. Tugs may just be one of the weirdest TV shows ever made, and is so much more than what meets the eye. A show made by the creators of Thunderbirds and Thomas the Tank Engine, but with tugboats, which touched serious issues of depression and blackmail, which was cancelled after 13 short episodes due to the company going under. But I will get more into that later. And before we go on to what makes Tugs so great, I would like to thank SpecialTrees on Twitter for all the advice and knowledge you shared about the show and how it was made. To make sure everything in this video is correct, go give them a follow if any of this interests you. That said, if all Tugs had going for it was a sob story about its production, it would not be so special. But what does make Tugs so great? Well, it can be split up into 4 parts. Part 1. The models. Tugs, like the original Thomas the Tank Engine, was filmed with models and looks stunning. From the water to the detail along the models themselves, it is a big pull to the show. Everything just looks so great, and you would not get the practical effects if this show was made today. And its more semi-realistic feel, which makes the show feel more dramatic when one of the characters is in a life-threatening situation. The models are also very personalised to show off each character's personality and traits. Top Hat, for example, is a snooty, posh tugboat, and his model is very clean with a monocle and a top hat. Warrior, for example, is clumsy, forgetful, and often works with rubbish barges, so he's a bit of a mess. All this helps you engage with the world more because of these small, realistic touches. Part 2. The music.
I remember Big Mac returned quite late. He'd been working all day with Scuttlebutt Pete, who'd been telling him old sea stories of strange things that happened when fog was around. As he passed derelict buildings, they seemed to take on ghostly shapes. They groaned and creaked as if they were alive. As Big Mac came close to an old warehouse, he heard a whisper which grew louder.
The music of Tugs were written by the same people who made the music for Thomas, Mike O'Donnell and Junior Campbell. That is especially clear where the Viaduct theme from Thomas was repurposed as the logging theme for Tugs. The original music is great, and covers of it are what I'm using throughout this video, and of course we can't speak music without talking about that iconic opening and ending themes with the roaring sax. Which just hammer home that 80s feel. Part 3. The story. There are 13 episodes in Tugs, and each one is unique. From the drama-filled epics like the episode Munitions, to the more character-focused episodes like High Winds, the series is like one big sitcom, and it's wonderful and great to see how the writers experimented with different styles, such as the episode Ghosts, which covers the supernatural take, while staying grounded for the most part. And the characters also help as they bicker like a family, never quite getting along, but always ready to help each other when it counts. Outside of that, the show is just very funny, from the insults the Tugs throw to each other, to the one-liners which are memorable and witty.
Don't bug me. I've had a busy day. Now, where do you want it?
Really a beaver zip, isn't he?
Well, got a reputation to live up to, Zug. One of the best tugs in the harbour.
Yawn, yawn. All work and no play makes 10 cents a dull tug.
Look, do you want this or do I take it back?
I know of a scheme to catch this pirate.
I expect you know several.
I said a crook to catch a crook.
What are you suggesting?
Quiet!
Now, pay attention, warrior. This is a wartime situation. I'll muster up my cunning, my sense of tactical advantage. Now, back there up.
What's that then? Tactical.
It means thinking strategically.
What's that then? What you said.
Tactical, you dummy.
Tactical. Strategical.
Give me strength. Positions, warrior! At the double!
This is a nice tactical spot. Quite strategic. Quite good, eh?
Part 4. Behind the Scenes. Tugs had a very troubled development, and it is a big draw for a lot of fans. The trouble started just as the first 2 episodes were filmed, with the scripts being cut down from 30 to 20 minutes. It is believed that the 2 filmed to be 30 minutes long were Sunshine and Jinxed. The next episode to be filmed was called High Winds, with Hercules saving 2 ocean liners, but due to the size of the tanks, the original script was removed and replaced with another one called High Winds, which later was turned into an episode of the same name. Due to this, however, the episode Pirate was pushed forward to be next. Production went smoothly until Munitions, which took twice as long it was to film as the crew had planned. The next big change came when it was time for the final 3 episodes, set in winter, and the crew had started to dress up the big city port for winter, as can be seen in the intro. At this point, however, the sets were too hard to work with and the crew had had enough, and wrote new set of final episodes to a new location called Upriver. Then as they were filming those episodes, they ran out of money. In an attempt to make some back, they released some VHS tapes which were 20 minutes long. Not long after that, the episodes were cut down to 15 minutes for unknown reasons, before the TV broadcast, which cut some of the callbacks to the previous episodes and some of the darker moments. About 9 episodes were already done by this time, so were cut down, while the remaining ones were only edited to be 15 minutes. The final kick in the teeth came when the show was only aired fully once in the UK. After that, even though plans for a season 2 were drawn up, at some point in 1990, Clearwater Studios, who had created Tugs, went bankrupt. Tugs is a very unique show, and will not be for everyone, but personally I love it. Tugs is one of those rare shows which will not insult a child. At the age of 4, I learned what a contract was thanks to Tugs, as they didn't feel the need to dumb it down for the audience. And the best thing about Tugs? Every episode is up on YouTube for free, and I recommend anyone who has stuck around this late into the video to give it a watch if the clips I've shown throughout have interest you. Now if you're still here, I will spoil 2 great episodes of Tugs, as I want to go deeper into them, so you have been warned. Jinxed.
One night out at sea, 10 Cents and Sunshine spotted a tug they'd never seen before. His name was Boomer. He was just drifting. Realizing he could be in trouble, they approached him cautiously. His engine was stopped, maybe even broken down. A tow line drooped in the water and his rigging was scrappy. No flag flapped in the breeze. It seemed no one owned him.
Keep away. Just leave me alone, please.
Look, we can't. You're drifting in busy sea lanes. That's dangerous.
Even better.
Jinxed is one of my favourite episodes of Tugs and follows Boomer. Boomer.
Okay, Boomer.
As 10 Cents and Sunshine try to make him useful, but his Jinx keeps causing things to go wrong. It's clear to see Boomer is unhappy and at the start of the episode is begging to be left in a busy shipping lane where he was in danger, and at one point he starts to sink. It is sad to see his face light up with joy until he fails to sink by landing on a barge. He returns to his sour mood and complains that all he wants to do is sink, which is a little horrific if you think about it. This is an example of Tugs not being scared to get into deeper and darker tones.
Hey, maybe the jinx has stopped now, eh? You're still afloat.
No, it hasn't. It's still here, all right. I wanted to sink, but instead I land right on top of an obstacle that doesn't let me. All I want to do is sink and become a home for the fishes. Then I won't jinx anyone.
This also shows the difference between the 2 rival tugboat companies. The Good Guys, owned by Captain Star, gives Boomer several chances before he's had enough of the Jinxes and sells them to Captain Zero, the leader of the bad guys. Here we see Boomer mess up once, and because he's losing Captain Zero money, he is instantly sold back to Captain Star, who gives him one last chance. Captain Star is shown to be a fair man, but at the end of the day he is a businessman, so when Boomer fails a simple task due to the Jinx, Captain Star turns him into a houseboat which cures the Jinx. Regatta. Regatta is a story of two parts, which is caused by the episode being made up of two different scripts smashed into one. The first part of Regatta starts with Lily Lightship on the night before the annual regatta, who gets struck by a ship which wrecks on the rocks as she starts to sink. The Navy submarine Grampus plugs the hole in her to save her from sinking, but in turn damages himself. This setup shows Grampus is caring and selfless when it comes to looking after others. This is why it's heartbreaking when in the next scene we are told he's too old to serve in the Navy, so they're going to use him as target practice and blow him up.
They're going to blow me up today.
The Tugs are appalled by this and risk their own lives by entering the firing line as the Navy start the exercise to steal Grampus back. He is then bought by Captain Star and joins the fleet just in time for the regatta, where we see the colourful floats and band music. This shows the duality of Tugs. One second we are facing death, the next a colourful parade.
What are they parading out here? They're going to be in the line of fire. Stay clear!
It's the destroyer warning us we're in the danger zone!
Ignore it!
What do you mean? And get a direct hit? No, thank you very much. They're gonna fire!
Keep going, Toppat. The more of us here, the safer we are.
Get clear! They're about to start firing!
Yes, Lord!
Grampus, just do as I say. Give him a line. 10 cents.
All right, OJ.
Big Mac will leave the barge in your place. Let's hope all they see from that distance is the target flags. Right, keep moving.
The Navy's not going to like this. Just leave me here or you'll all get into trouble. Please, don't do it.
Well, I could go on. I think I will leave it here, so this video doesn't get too long. What do you think of Tugs? Are you a long-time fan, or are you someone who's never even heard of it before? I would love to hear what you all think of Tugs below, and if you like the video, feel free to share it, like it, and subscribe.
You're clear, Vienna. Bon voyage. Godspeed.
Oh, he really is lovely.
Yeah.
Good night, Vienna!
Good night, Vienna.
But no matter how far away